The forest on the outskirts of the city seemed dark and gloomy. The mist hung over the tree canopies, creeping onto the road, turning it into an endless serpentine of shadows. Adam and Michael met at the bus stop, waiting for the last night bus. Both were tired and eager to get home. They struck up a conversation when the bus was delayed, discovering they lived in the same neighborhood and worked in neighboring offices. It seemed like they could become good friends. But something in the forest they were heading towards was about to change everything. When the bus didn't show up, Adam suggested cutting through the forest. "It'll be a shortcut," he said. Michael hesitated but agreed, thinking company was better than walking alone on a deserted road. The forest was darker than they expected. The light from the bus stop lamps disappeared as they ventured deeper into the thicket. The shadows seemed alive, branches crackled under their feet, as if warning of something ominous approaching. Adam led the way, with Michael cautiously following behind. "Did you hear that?" Michael asked when a faint rustling came from the depths of the forest. They stopped, listening intently. But all they heard was the echo of their own footsteps. Maybe it was just the wind, Michael reassured himself. But the thought didn't ease his mind. The path became more winding, and they started to lose their way. Adam looked tense, his confidence in the chosen path fading. "Maybe we should turn back," Michael suggested, but Adam decided to press on. The deeper they went, the thicker the fog became, hiding the silhouettes of the trees. When they reached a small clearing, Adam froze. "What's that?" he asked, pointing to a strange object in the center of the clearing. It was an old, rusted pole wrapped in barbed wire, like the remains of an old sign or monument. Deep tracks were visible on the ground around it, as if someone had been there recently. Michael felt a cold sweat on his back. This place seemed unnatural, as if it had been ripped from another world. They started to back away, but the fog thickened and the sounds of the forest ceased. An eerie silence fell. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoed through the forest, but not from them. Someone or something was moving through the woods. The steps were heavy, rhythmic, as if something large was approaching. Adam and Michael, without a word, started to run, trying to find their way back. But the forest, as if alive, began to change. The trees they had seen before disappeared, the road dissolved into darkness. The footsteps grew closer, and the fog thickened, blocking their path to safety. When Michael looked back, he saw a shadow gliding between the trees, its eyes glowing with a menacing red light. The shadow moved faster than they could run. Michael screamed, but his voice was swallowed by the deafening silence of the forest. The footsteps were already behind them, and they realized they couldn't escape. The forest, like a hungry monster, swallowed them. The fog enveloped them, making them feel trapped with no way out. Their screams faded, and the forest once again fell into its usual silence. The next morning, the police found their empty backpacks on the road, but Adam and Michael's bodies were never found. The forest took them, and no one ever saw them again.